What's good, people? Let's do this. This is Ask FP this week, and we're going to kick it off with the question of the week. And it comes in from Carlos KC. Deportes KC says, who do you think has been more influential in his sport? Tom Brady or Kobe Bryant? Thanks a lot for your videos. God bless you. The same to you, Carlos. Most influential in their sport is easily Kobe Bryant. I find it very difficult for quarterbacks to truly be influential, or I shouldn't say quarterbacks, for football players to be truly influential, because by the nature of the gear that they wear in their sport, it's very hard to individualize them. That's why they generally don't become as big as stars individually. You get to see so much more of the essence of the person in basketball, because everything, face, arms, every tattoos, everything's there to be seen. And Kobe's swagger, I think, is what makes him most influential. There's been other great pocket passers in the history of the game. There's been other guys, there's Michael Jordan or whatever, who Kobe obviously patterned his game after a bit, but I would still give Kobe the edge there. Landon Ray says, do you think that North Carolina deserves to be the number one team in college basketball? I do. I mean, if you think about the amount of quality players that they returned, not to mention the solid recruiting class that they had coming in, also the coach that they have with Roy Williams, led by guys like Kennedy Meeks. This on paper, which is all you really can judge by in what a preseason ranking, they look good. So really good. So I definitely think they should be there. But you got to look at teams like Cal, and you got to look at teams like LSU and obviously Kentucky, as well as Virginia. Don't sleep on them. Speaking of LSU, Jared Young wants to know who's getting Ben Simmons next year. Well, it's really impossible to predict that. I mean, I could tell you who I think is going to have the worst record in the NBA. But that doesn't mean they're going to get. They only have a 25% chance to get the number one pick. So I think a better question, or a more easier question to answer, would be is Ben Simmons going to go number one? And I think absolutely. I think it's just from what we've already seen, just from 2 games, not to mention the hype leading up to his freshman season at LSU. This dude is absolutely for real. I mean, he is for real, the real deal. I mean, potential NBA superstar for real. Not 2013 NBA draft, I'm going number one good. I'm talking about I would have been in the top 3 in the 2003 draft good. Yeah, he's that good. Jared Young also says, if you were the GM of the Lakers and Kobe decided to play one more year, would you re-sign him? Absolutely not. If I'm Mitch Kupchak and Kobe tells me he wants to play another year, I politely tell him it's been great. You've done immeasurable things for this organization. But at this time, it is time for us to make a break and start crafting the next era of Laker basketball. And I don't think that anything, if Kobe's been anything but logical, he'd have to acquiesce to that type of concept. It's been a long time, and he's clearly not the guy he used to be. But I do think that as some sort of a 6-man, he could be effective. I just don't think he can ever really take that backseat role as long as he's with the Lakers. He's always going to be the guy. Jared Young also says, where do you think Kevin Durant will be playing next year? This is really tough because if you'd asked me this last year, I would say without a doubt the Washington Wizards. But I'm really not sure. I really do. I lean towards saying he's going to leave Oklahoma City. I do. And I'm going to tell you or read some of the reasons why. Over the years, Kevin Durant has been even hardened more and more towards the media. And I almost feel like maybe the decision to leave OKC is something that was made a while ago, and he's almost prepping himself for the backlash. And just the way he's handling it, I think he's going to leave. I'm not sure if Lakers or whatever, but I do think he's going to leave. Weston Flores says, is Cam Newton the 2015 MVP or no? I mean, it's definitely between him and Tom Brady, in my opinion, at this point, if you ask me right now. But I don't know. You know what? Oh, it's tough. It's really tough. I would probably have to say I would probably give him a slight edge over Tom Brady because he doesn't have another great player on his team. I mean, yeah, they both have really good tight ends, but we're talking about one of perhaps the greatest pass receiving tight end in the history of the game in New England, and we had a really good one in Greg Olsen. So I don't know. Things were supposed to fall apart for Carolina, and Cam has held it together. Western Flores says, thoughts on Tommy Hansen, rest in peace. Yes, it's obviously always a tragedy anytime someone passes away. From the reports, it sounded as if it was a overdose. So you can only say, God bless his family, whoever the loved ones that he's left behind. But yeah, it's a serious and unfortunate situation. And like I said, my condolences go to his family. Levon Robinson says, what do you think of rumors about Jeff Hardy's 2016 return, and how would you feel if they're true? I always liked Jeff Hardy in the ring. It was cool. I didn't dig the whole look thing. That was never anything for cool to me. It just kind of looked kind of goofy and it's kind of stanky in a way. But I do think, as far as a high flyer in-ring high flying, he's right there at the top with everybody. But his mic skills were always terrible. So it was just kind of like, okay, dude, just flip. Don't do nothing else but jump off of stuff. So and at this point of his life, and after he's had some troubles and he's older, he won't have that necessarily to bring at the way he did when he was young. And with no mic skills to fall back on, how good is he really going to be at this point? Simon Torvey Sunderland says, what are your thoughts on Miles Turner's play so far? Should he get more minutes? I think he should definitely get more minutes. You're playing Ian Mahinmi quite a bit of minutes, and I do think he's a pretty decent player. Jordan Hill's also getting some minutes. He's a more active guy, but when they play against bigger teams that have more of a true type of a center, I think that's when he should expect more minutes, and I think that's kind of been the way it's been going. But I think from with the time period that he's gotten on the floor, the Bulls just beat him last night. I think he's done decently. Chicken be kicking says, with Dirk getting old and Kobe getting old, who could you see as the face of the Lakers and Mavs when they leave? I think it's kind of clear right now. I think the Lakers would default to D'Angelo Russell, but I'm thinking that they have their eyes set on Durant for the summer. So obviously, if Durant signs a long-term deal with the Lakers, he's definitely going to be the face. With the Mavericks, it's tougher to tell. That guy, whoever that guy is not on the horizon yet. They could definitely make a strong play for Durant, trying to play off the fact that he played the 1 year at Texas in college, which I don't know if that's going to hold much weight. So they could definitely look hard at him, but Durant could turn out to be the face of either. Not both, obviously, but of either franchise. So that's an interesting question. But I think he's one of the guys that's on the horizon that could be that. And if not, they're going to have to luck up in the draft, because the Mavericks look like they might actually go to the playoffs. Chicken Be Kicking also says, would you put Dirk's fade as one of the greatest and most deadly shots of all time, and keep up the great work? I appreciate that, sir. I would definitely say it's one of the most difficult to defend signature shots in the history of the game. Number one, in my opinion, is the sky hook, and it's clear and far and away the top one by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But Dirk's fadeaway definitely is very much synonymous with his game, so I would give him some love there for sure. Crash says, pick 4 players for the slam dunk contest this year. All right, that's tough. So let's just do a fantasy thing. Not like we're gonna throw plausibility out of the window. We're not gonna worry about who's actually likely to get in it. But out of the guys in the league right now who could do it and would be entertaining, Gerald Green, LeBron James, absolutely LeBron. Russell Westbrook, even though he's not all that creative, he's a game dunker, not a contest dunker. But seeing Westbrook in there would be pretty awesome. And Zach LaVine, that would be the ultimate dunk contest right now to me. Jared Young says, can Steph Curry overtake Magic Johnson as the best point guard to ever play? It's going to take rings for sure. Could he do it? Yeah, I do think he could do it. I believe if the Warriors won 3 rings, so if they win this year and they win another one over the next 2 to 3 seasons, and Curry continues the level of play that he's on now, I think you have to seriously consider him as that. I mean, he's changing it. I mean, he's really acting a complete fool right now is what he's doing. So, I mean, yeah, you'd have to if he continues this level of play. Franchise Gamer says, is Rajon Rondo back like he was with the Celtics after the 2 triple-doubles he put up? I don't know. I think it might be a little bit premature to say that, but you know what? I don't know if Rajon Rondo has ever fallen off too far. I think that he excelled more when he had more around him and when he was motivated. But I think that Rondo is a guy who assesses the situation and says, how good can we really be? How much do I really want to play right now? And that dictates his effort. And he's never still put in the effort to really truly improve his jump shot, which I think is the biggest drawback to his game. So Brady Babin says, or Babine, I'm not sure how that's pronounced, says one gotta go. I ain't got one of these in a long time. Y'all could have been hit me up with some one gotta goes. I asked for them once, but then it kind of faded away. But Brady's bringing it back. Game winner and overall prime. Who's gotta go between Ray Allen? I'm assuming he's talking about Bucks version Ray Allen, Steph Curry, Larry Bird, and Reggie Miller. Now, all 4 of these guys are great players, but this is not even close to me. Larry Bird's the guy who's taking my game-winning shot, and he's clearly far and away the best overall player between these guys. We're talking about all facets of the game. That's not even close. Jared Young says, who would win a 7-game series between the 95-96 Bulls and the current Golden State Warriors, and what would the series score be? This is a really good question. I almost use this as the question of the week. It's interesting because the Bulls, that Bulls team, always struggled with little, small, quick guards. I believe they lost either both games that season, the 72-10 season against the Raptors, or at least one. Damon Stoudemire gave them fits. So finding someone to defend Curry obviously is the issue. Draymond Green, I think they're gonna. I mean, Iguodala's probably guarding Mike, and Klay Thompson might be guarding Pippen, but I don't know who guards who. I mean, I don't mind Ron Harper on Steph Curry, to be honest, because Ron Harper is a bigger, longer defender, and he was a very smart defender. He knew how to trail shots and bother people's shots from the side and from the back. I don't know. I think the Bulls win the series. I do. I really do think the Bulls win the series. I just don't think, I don't think they have an answer. I think the Bulls have an answer for Curry before the Golden State has an answer for Mike. And Scotty's overall play, I think the Bulls win, and I think the Bulls win probably in 6. Will Breedlove says, will Stephen Curry end up as, we got a lot of Steph Curry today. Will Stephen Curry end up as the all-time leader in three-pointers made? Yes, without a doubt, barring some sort of injury, he will. You can bank that. That's one of the most sure bets that you can make, or sure predictions that you can make based off of a milestone right now amongst great players in the NBA. Steph Curry will be the NBA's all-time leader in three-pointers made. Chicken Be Kicking said, who's going to be in the BCS? I know he's just mean the college football playoff championship game. In your opinion, this one is tough. It's hard for me to believe in Clemson because I've seen them let people down, or let teams let their fan base down so much. But it's just hard for me to totally believe in Clemson. So if I had to choose right now, I'm going to tell you that, and I'm not like totally locked in here, but I'm going to say Alabama and Ohio State. That would be, because I think maybe Alabama ends up number 2 and Ohio State ends up number 3. They both win their semifinal games and play in the championship game. Well, actually, no. That if they're 2 and 3, I think they play each other. I think that's the way that would go. But I would say those are the two best teams, though that'll end the season as the 2 best teams. Chicken Be Kicking says, who do you think will have a great season in college basketball, and what is your favorite basketball movie? As far as players, Ben Simmons, I like a lot. I like Jaylen Brown for Cal. So those guys, in Skal Labissiere for Kentucky, I like. My favorite basketball movie is probably, I really liked He Got Game a lot. So I think probably He Got Game is my favorite. Kobe says, when will the Xbox One get a true baseball game like the show? I don't know if that'll ever happen. I don't know. Somebody has to get bold again and decide they're going to go back down the baseball path. I mean, 2K could revitalize it. I think that's probably the most likely thing, a return of the MLB 2K. I don't know. Or maybe another company can just try, another larger company, a Konami or a Capcom or a company like that can say, you know what, we're gonna see what we can do. Or maybe a company like Maximum Games that made the really cool golf club. Maybe they can do it. I don't know. We'll see. Kobe says, what are your thoughts on UFC 2 and what would you like to see in it? Well, so far, so good. I mean, we've seen some cool graphics. We saw a cover choice that seemed to be a little bit untimely at this point, but y'all can expect to hear a little bit more from me about Ronda Rousey, Holly Holm later today and this week. But so far, so good. I like the fact that they put in modes that are designed for all different types of gamers. Some people are more hardcore, some people are more casual. They're trying to hit everybody, which I think is a good idea. So we'll see once more information is available to the public. Matt Price says, my gut tells me that every team that makes the playoffs in the Eastern Conference will be above 500. True or false? I think that is true, Matt. I agree with you. I believe that this is an up year for the Eastern Conference. And I definitely think there will be 8 teams above 500. Now, the bottom side of the Eastern Conference, I can see there being a significant fall off from 8 to 9. I could see that, something like a 7 or 8 game gap where the race is just about over 3 to 4 weeks before the playoffs start. But yeah, I do believe that all of the teams are going to be over 500 that make the playoffs, or 500 or better, I should say. Last but not least, Brady is back, and he says, are there any potential Hall of Famers in the 2013 NBA draft class? Not any that really say, oh yeah, watch this guy. I mean, Giannis is the closest thing to a person you said, but he hasn't shown nearly enough for us to start talking about Hall of Fame. A multiple All-Star, maybe, 3 to 4 time All-Star. Yeah, I can see that. Victor Oladipo just looks like a guy who's going to have a really, really good career, but that's not a Hall of Famer. Michael Carter Williams would seemingly be a notch right below that. Now, here's the caveat to that. You can start to make the Hall of Fame based off of a good, solid play and excellent team success. So right now, Michael Carter Williams and Giannis Antetokounmpo are probably in the best position to get to the Hall of Fame in that way, because the Bucks have the better young nucleus, and if they can get and start winning championships, which is a humongous if, then that would obviously boost their chances to make the Hall of Fame. But that's this episode of Ask FP. I appreciate you watching. God bless. Peace.